So we can go ahead and jump into some topics or whatever.
Alrighty.
Got a few. The first few is just some announcements I want to make. Just out of, just being a fan. So speaking of Styles P, he got a new brand of peanut butter and jelly spread that he's doing. It's called Styles PB&J. I thought that was kind of dope.
I'm gonna clap that. Let's clap that up.
Yes, sir.
Yo, get my man a sandwich. You know what I'm saying, with the spread. Yo, it's nice out here. You know what I'm saying. We got peanut butter. We got bread work. We got butter knife work. We got spreads out here. Ain't nobody getting hugs. Everybody getting fed. Ain't nothing emotional out here. Shout my man Spread, yo.
Yo, man. Them dudes I love how they're getting into business ventures now, man. That's dope,
yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
They still got the juice shop, so that's dope. So yeah, man. Shout out to the lot. Shout out to Styles, for the PB&J. I'm definitely gonna be trying it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's gonna be the hardest PB&J out there. It's gonna be the crunchy PB&J. With peanuts in it.
I don't give a fuck who you are. So fuck who you are. I don't care if you Riff, if you Jerry or Jiff. Yes, I don't give a fuck you Peter Pan whipping the scan.
You know what I mean?
Style PB&J, nigga.
Yes, sir. And Ghost got his killer coffee. Ghostface got his killer coffee.
You know what?
I gotta try that.
We gotta. Okay, so this is our goal. We got to, when we get on the new format, we gonna start doing we gotta bring some branding
products.
And start trying them. So we definitely gotta do. Yeah, we gotta do that.
Yeah. R2G2 said he remember, old boy. Yeah, man, that was rough right there, man. That one hit me hard, man. When I heard that, I was like, because I knew he was dealing with the sickness, but I just didn't think it would happen so fast. We just found out about that maybe 3 months ago.
Yeah, that's horrible.
He's gone. So, but anyway, but yeah, man, rest in peace to him. But yeah, shout out to Styles. Also, R. Kelly, he got some child charges dropped. Yeah, so he was charged in multiple states. In case y'all didn't know, he's got bunches of charges against him. But they decided to drop the charges in the state of Illinois, I believe it was, which is, I think, his home state.
Yeah.
Only because he's got so many other charges against him in other states. They were like, we're just adding on to it, spending taxpayer money, so there's no point. He's already got enough time in his sentence that he's going to be in there, for a good while. He probably, if he get out, it won't be in time to make no new music or anything. So they probably like, let's not waste taxpayer money. It's like, if you already gave somebody a life sentence, why say, well, let's try to make sure he gets a second life sentence. For what? He ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? That nigga ain't going nowhere. So that's what they looking at it like. So, we mentioned it on the last show that we heard that R. Kelly might be getting out, but that's what it was. They were just considering dropping those charges.
Dang.
So he ain't getting out, but he did at least get some charges dropped.
My master drop in the closet. In the closet.
Yep, charges dropped in the closet.
There's something in the closet.
But either way, man, shout out to Kels. I ain't a hater. You did some bad shit, but I ain't gonna send you to hell for that. You just need to stay in jail.
Oh yeah, that's it. Man,
but yeah. So he still got a lot of supporters out there. But yeah, anyway, so on to the next. Wanted to mention, I don't know if y'all heard about this, but not within the past few weeks, my man's Math Hoffa had a little back and forth with China Mac over some kind of snitching type language. I guess China Mac just felt like he didn't want to support Math Hoffa anymore because Math Hoffa had somebody on his show who got to openly talking about a criminal case. And I don't think he said anything too incriminating, but he just kind of spoke candidly about it. And China Mac, I guess somebody asked about how he felt about that. And he was like, yeah, I'm not supporting his platform anymore. And so Math Hoffa kind of called him out, like, what you talking about? And they actually did a live together where they kind of bickered back and forth. And I don't think they're like sworn enemies or anything. It was just more so, let's try to clear this up. but I don't think they really came to a resolution. But one thing I do know, Math was calling him out too, because Math was like, on your platform, because China Mac has a podcast or something like that, and he was like, on your platform, you have promoted an app where you can do snitching on the app. So he was like, how you going to call me out for having somebody who on my show when you've promoted this specific app? I don't know. I can't remember the name of the app, but it was one of them like Crime Stoppers type of apps. Damn. It wasn't Crime Stoppers. I'm just saying, as an example, it was that type of thing where a normal
China Mac trying to do a TI around here,
right? So man was like, hold on, how you gonna call me out when you did that? You know, my shit ain't even on that level. But, you know, China Mac was just like, you know, that's an app. You know, it's just something where people can, you know, report and say they witnessed and blah, blah, blah. So China Mac was trying to downplay the app and, you know, and all that. So it is what it is. It ain't a huge beef. I just thought it was funny, man, that they got into it over that.
Yeah, like I said, I think a lot of that, I don't know, and this is my theory. I'm not saying that, because I kind of like China Mac, but I will say this. I don't know, with the whole thing with going back to Vlad, the whole thing, you know, with him trying to put up all this shit against Farrakhan, you know, a lot of people, I mean, people still go to the platform, but I don't think people go to that platform just the same, because you already, you know, you got other people saying, you know, calling them out and saying like, look, you know what I'm saying? We can't do this no more. Right. But China Mac has been a guest on that show. Yeah. So I don't know if they're trying to use this to make Matt Hoffa the new Vlad. And since he's got a black face, don't go to him because he's a snitch. And I'm not saying that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that that's going to be happening or anything like that. But you can't. But you can't. I mean, you know what I'm saying? With way things are going on, you can't really rule that out. So true. I don't. You know, I hope that's not the case. I hope it really was just a misunderstanding on both parties, and I hope both parties will be able to, you know, come together, work, get money. You know what I'm saying? Grow both of their fan bases. Right, exactly. And so I mean that would be great, but at the same time, like it's you can't rule that out.
Definitely, man. So, you know, I mean, you know, like I said, it wasn't a huge deal, but I just thought it was funny that, you know, they kind of went back and forth, and, you know, it's a video out there where you can see them both on the live together. But, you know, it ain't no like real street beef where, you know, you think somebody gonna get hurt, you know, just so y'all know. Because we don't promote that shit either, you know. Yeah. But yeah, so, you know, that was it. On to the next. There's a new documentary. I mentioned this a while back, you know, probably over a year ago. Chuck D has a documentary coming out called Fight the Power, How Hip Hop Changed the World. And that's going to be released through PBS. I don't have a concrete date on it, but, you know, it's Chuck D. It's a documentary about hip hop, and you can't really go wrong there. So I encourage everybody to check it out. If you really love the culture of hip hop, you need to see that. You know what I mean? Also, we are going to get a documentary on the DLC from the West Coast. He was shopping it around, I remember, last summer at the film festival, and I remember he was talking a lot about it then. And now he finally said that it's going to be officially released this spring, so in the next couple of months. So I'm assuming we'll see it by April, if not before that. So that's going to be dope. I'm ready to see that. Also, you know, they're working on a Black Rob documentary too. I don't know, yeah. I don't know what's going on because, you know, in those last days he got real sick, and, you know, he had something going on like cancer or something like that. And so I think that's why they decided to do a documentary on him. And then the Wu-Tang, the American Saga, the third and final episode is coming back February 15th. So that is about a week and a half away. So yeah, I'm ready for that.
Yeah, because that's such, man, just the storytelling on that is just so good.
Yeah, they did so good with that show, man. And I'm sure they're going to end it off really good too. So this will be the final season. If you haven't seen it, go back and check out the first 2 seasons. You know, they're really good. So yeah, and Let's move on to the next. I wanted to talk a little bit about my man's one half of the legendary group EPMD. Eric Sermon came out not too long ago and said that he had been addicted to opioids and that he was just starting to get himself back on track, So, first of all, shout out to him for, being open about it, and shout out to him for, actually conquering that shit, saying, I'm sick of this, I'm not doing this no more.
Right,
so yeah, shout out to Eric Sermon,
and shout out to Eric Sermon because he shouted us out on the show. Headbanger, remember?
Oh, yeah. That's right. Right. Yeah. Shout out to Eric Sermon. Yes, sir.
Yo.
Yeah.
He always going to help spirit place it up, man. Come on, man.
He always been one of my favorites, man. I always love the Green Eye Bandit.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I'm still a huge EPMD fan.
There's been a lot of, there would have been a lot of shit if it wasn't for Eric Sermon.
Man, what? Real. It made my day when Nas put him on the King's Disease joint too. You know what I mean? The EPMD remix joint.
Matter of fact, let's be real. It wouldn't be Woo without EPMD.
That's right. The Woo, you know what I mean? EPMD.
I'm for and they would say that. They would say that. I mean, the Woo was his own thing, but. Nah, man.
But they had to get their inspiration from people like EPMD. Yeah. I mean, you didn't see as many groups out back then. You know what I mean? It was a lot more solo artists. And EPMD was like, nah, we gonna bust through this door as a group. And they always put it down, hard for the streets, man. So I remember every year they would consistently drop albums until the time when they broke up. I mean, it was like you could just always tell it's time for another EPMD album. Let's go,
Yeah, they broke up, 92?
93, and then they got back together in 97.
Yeah.
So, like a 4-year hiatus, and, they came back strong. All their albums had that business theme. So when they came back together, it was back in business, First album was Strictly Business. The Unfinished Business, I think.
Business as Usual.
Business as Usual.
That's a good album.
Man, yeah.
But those on my job, just the way I hold a pizza still. That's what you said.
Yes, sir.
That Redman verse?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, man. So I love when they got back together and they did the Back in Business album. I think they finally stopped doing albums, you know what I mean? I think their last album they did together was called Out of Business or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
So... shout out to EPMD, man. But, I really just, thought that was, strong of him to talk about the opioid thing and be willing to admit what he went through. And, I hate that, he even had to deal with that because he seems like the type of guy who wouldn't allow that,
Yeah.
He never really, was one of those guys who was always, nah, I smoke this and I do that. And he was just like, I'm a street dude, but I don't fuck with the drugs,
Well, I mean, shit, man. In that industry, though, I mean, with the stress and stuff.
Exactly.
I mean I'm not condoning it, but
yeah.
I mean, shit, sometimes, I understand it because, I ain't gonna say I understand it or relate because I can't, but you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't been in that position, but I could kind of see like why he would turn to that. I mean, it's the business is a lot. Yeah,
man. And he was at one point he was one of the dopest producers in the game. Like when EPMD broke up, he stepped up his game because he had produced a lot of EPMD's beats anyway. Mm-hmm. But when they broke up, he got real busy, and I mean everybody was calling him. People from the West Coast, the East Coast, the Midwest was like, I want Eric Sermon to produce.
Oh
my song.
Eric Sermon was really, if you think about it, he was kind of the Dr. Dre,
right?
A little bit, but I mean, because they kind of had like, they had the East Coast, but they had like that funk, especially like if you go back, to Goss and Chill.
Right.
They had all, I mean, you know what I'm saying? They had that funk for the East.
Yeah.
You know
absolutely.
what I'm saying?
You're right about that because Dr. Dre did a lot of funk for the West.
Yes.
And Eric Sermon was the funk for the East. And,
they really was.
They loved it. Eric Sermon, Redman, they all loved them funk sounds. So yeah, shout out to them for that, man. Shout out to the Def Squad and the Hit Squad.
Yeah.
So and shout out to Eric Sermon, man. I'm gonna keep him in my thoughts and prayers because I hope he definitely stays clean and doesn't get caught back up in it. You know what I mean? Because it's very easy to relapse. So anyway, so in this weekend also we got the Grammys coming up on Sunday. So I'm not a huge Grammys fan, but they're supposed to do a tribute because this year is the 50th anniversary of hip hop. So yes, sir.
Let's clap that up.
So yeah. Because of that, I'm going to be definitely tuning in on Sunday. I'm going to record it and check it out.
Oh, so this Sunday?
This coming Sunday.
Okay,
tomorrow.
Yeah.
So tomorrow night. I'm not sure what time, but I'll try to see if I can find it. Maybe post it up on our Instagram or
That's
Facebook.
That's CBS, right?
Probably. They usually are the ones to show it, I think. So, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. That once I find a post about it, I'll put it on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, or probably both, even Twitter. Just so y'all can know, but yeah, and also Quavo is supposed to do a tribute to Takeoff during the Grammys too.
Okay.
So that's gonna be interesting. I'm hoping that they give him an ample amount of time to do a decent tribute, not something too quick. You know what I mean? Because I know that was his partner and they was family and all of that shit. Yeah. So yeah, that's another thing that will be happening on Sunday at the Grammys. So, but yeah, man, and just let us know what y'all think about the Grammys. How y'all feel before the show and after. Put it in the comments. You know what I mean? We want to know what y'all think too. All right, so before we wrap it up, man, I want to talk a little bit more about the Tyre Nichols thing. You know what I mean? So that was a really sad situation, man, because for one, you always hear about cops and Black people, all people get unfair treatment from the cops. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
But you just see more issues with Black people, you know what I mean? And it was sad that this issue happened to come from 5 Black cops. Was it 5 of them?
Yeah, it was 5 Black cops. And but then the 6th cop, was a white cop that was in the background. Said, I hope you be here later.
Right.
I don't know. That's how he talks.
So yeah,
I don't profile like a motherfucker. But,
probably.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No. But yeah, so it's a really sad situation that it had to happen. I mean, I saw a couple of the videos, and it really was disheartening to see. I mean, they really did jump this dude like he was just worthless. You know what I mean? And I mean, yeah, a lot of people are gonna say, well, he ran from them, so they had a right to pursue him and do whatever they had to do to stop him. But that's not why he ran from them, because he was already getting beat down. And typically your first instinct is, if I'm getting beat down for no apparent reason, I should get away from this shit. Not just sit here and say, yeah, keep hitting me. Go ahead. You know what I mean? That's not going to be anybody's first instinct. So he did get up and run, but it was because he was just trying not to get beat when he knew he didn't do shit.
Oh, for
so now they're saying that they pulled him over because of reckless driving. But according to the actual police chief in that area, they said there's no real evidence of that.
Mm-hmm.
And also there's another story that says it was really over a chick, that Tyre was messing with some chick that used to date one of the cops. So it's like, what? Was this just revenge?
Well, the family did say, they kind of came out and said that what you said about the female and whatnot, they said that wasn't true.
No, it's
to kind of keep things,
so they did clarify that. Okay. That's good.
Also, but I mean, even then, because I was actually, before coming up here, I was listening to shout out to We Woke Now TV. They had Judge Joe Brown on the program, so I was looking at a little bit of that, and he was explaining that the family was trying, everybody thinks that their baby boy, or what, they don't want to make sure that he didn't do no wrong. I'm not saying that when he said it, I'm not saying that what you said,
right,
that's true, but he said for them to do what he did, it must have been something personal.
Right. That's why I was wondering about that whole female thing, because I was like, was it really? Because they said that basically the cop was just mad because the female didn't want to take him back. And then when he found out she was with Tyre, that was his chance. Okay, let me make an example out of him.
Yeah, I don't understand that though. Like, how that gonna help you get back with that person? Right. Yeah, I beat your man's ass.
Right.
You going back
so you
like
want me now, right?
yeah, like nah, man, that's not how that works.
My boyfriend has been vanquished, so I'll take you now.
Yeah, like no, I don't want no heathen ass, thug ass.
Right. If anything, she's gonna try to get further away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, I just don't get that. But the thing of it is, it's just that whole what Judge Joe Brown was, explaining to the, people we woke now on TV. He was just explaining that Memphis in general needs to be revamped because the people that's in charge of it, they're like a lot of young people, and they're not to disencourage young people, but they. What I'm saying? They just run it to the ground and there's no infrastructure or accountability.
Right.
The way everything is corrupt and it's all about, if I'm making a deal, it's about how much I'm going to get out of it, not about the people. I mean, you can kind of find that energy everywhere. I mean, it's not, what I'm saying? It's just, it's not, it ain't necessarily, so black and white per se, but it is a lot of people in these places.
Right.
And they just, they sit in these places and just like, we're just going to get this for ourselves. Fuck everybody else, so. Yeah. But so going back to that, there's someone was saying too, like Memphis was like the third highest on carjackings and
wow.
Yeah, there's like a lot of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, man. So and Judge Joe Brown, he's actually running for mayor of Memphis.
Oh yeah,
okay. So
I did not know
so
that.
Hopefully, they get the stuff cleaned up. And one more thing, they said that the police chief, I think it was a female.
Yeah, it's a female.
Yeah, she used to run Georgia when she had the Red Dogs, 1 to the 2 to 3 to 4. Mm-hmm. Them dirty Red Dogs gonna hit the door and they got everybody on their hands and knees, and they ain't gonna need you. They finding keys.
Yep.
That goody module.
Yeah, man.
So she was a part of the Red Dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and then she went to North Carolina, and I forgot what she did. They said she did some kind of crazy shit in North Carolina. Then, she kept getting into some type of trouble. So they kind of, instead of like, you're fired. But what they did is like relocate and move around just like they do. So she moved, they went to Memphis, and then they had the program that they was running. It was called something else. It was Blue something. I can't remember. They said it in the interview. But then, they revamped it and called it Scorpion. Okay. And that's, revamping those things to target, people that look like me and you in lower class communities. So, it's just ridiculous.
But it's just a really, heart-wrenching situation, man, because, this young man didn't have to die like that.
No.
You know what I mean? And didn't he have, I think he had a kid or a couple of kids, 1 or 2 kids, Tyre, or no?
I don't get me a line.
I can't remember. It seemed like I remember them saying he had at least one, but either way, he still got family that he left behind, and, he had a life to live, you know what I mean? He wasn't a bad dude that was out here just causing trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but it was the police chief that actually was the one that decided to put the videos out. She was the one, because I was surprised. I was like, normally the police be trying to, nah, we don't want y'all to see it, or we're going to heavily edit it. Yeah. And she was just like, no, the public needs to see this because it's not right. And she was actually doing the right thing, so I applaud her for that. And they put them out a little bit at a time, but then they put out like one video, then a few days later another video.
But they didn't. But that's another thing, though. For what I understand, the white cop, they indicted the 5 black cops, but they ain't really got the white cop yet who was saying, I hope you beat his ass. Right. So they ain't, they ain't got him. They're trying to keep that.
That's what I wanted to find out what they're going to do with him, because that's an interesting thing that he was there. You know,
he should get fired. He should get fired too.
Yeah, he needs to get pulled into it, because I mean, hell, you was there.
Yeah,
you saw this shit happening. If you didn't say nothing was wrong, so you let it happen. So fuck that. You need to go down with it.
Yep, go down.
But you know, and I know these officers have been fired or whatever, but still, they need to go to jail. It shouldn't just be, well, we just going to fire you with no pay or some shit like that. That ain't enough, man.
Nah, they kill. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like contract, like I said, and that goes back to, you know, what we were talking about earlier. You know, this is a new trend with the whole, you know, those rappers being missing and murdered.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's that's a dangerous president. You know, that's a danger president. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With that going on, it really is.
Yeah, man. So, you know, y'all, you know, keep people like that in your prayers and stay out of trouble, man. Just stay out of trouble. And, you know, it's really sad that a lot of parents just have to, especially black parents, have to teach their kids, okay, if you get pulled over by the cops, here's what you do. You know what I mean? And we shouldn't have to always have those types of conversations.
Make sure, one thing too that'll help you. I mean, I'm not trying to, you know, be like, oh, well, you know, but like, go make sure you're in a well-lit area. Don't, if they put, you know, and then that's another thing too. You don't necessarily have to run from them, but if you put your flashes on, you can, you know, you can throw that on until you get to a well-lit area. I mean, I know they're going to do some shit like, well, you know, he didn't stop when I said stop. I was like, yeah, but I'm trying to get to a well-lit area. And, you know, flip it on too. Like, hey, I'm trying to get to a well area for, you know, for my safety and your safety. Because if it was dark and I come out and do something, you wouldn't know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're in a dark area, you know what I'm saying, I got something concealed. Now, if I'm in a well-lit area and there's people around, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, they can call me out if I'm doing something, and then vice versa you. But yeah, I mean, that's one way. I'm not saying that's because, you know what I'm saying, I know that's not everybody's reality, and there's, you know, there's definitely things, you know, the cops, you know what I'm saying, they're not, you know, they're there to twist shit to make the state money.
Right.
So, I mean, let's you know, it's not for, they're not here to protect.
Right.
When they say protect and serve, they're not protecting and serving the people. They're trying to protect property. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we all got our individual feelings about the cops, man. So, you know, it's just, you know, I mean, we would never say that, you know, all cops are bad. You know,
no.
I'm not out here screaming fuck 12 or none of that shit. But it's really sad to see shit like that happen, you know. That dude didn't deserve to die.
No, not like
period.
That. No.
So, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I had to say about it, man. I just, you know, I send my condolences and prayers to his family, and, you know, hope that, you know, they can get through this. Of course, they got Ben Crump is their lawyer, boy. He jumps on them cases.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, that's what they were talking about, too. Like, fucking Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm. Don't do it.
Yeah, I'm not. But she ain't been seen, and then like her and I'm about to say Robert Sharpton, but Al Sharpton. I don't know Robert Sharpton. Anyway, Al Sharpton, they come up there, and it's like they kind of took the energy away because it's supposed to been about him, and when y'all made it about themselves, it's like, nah, dude, like, come on, man, like. This family's grieving. Y'all like, I have a podcast deal, and like, really?
Right.
So,
but yeah, I mean, you know, that's, you know, like I said, we just wanted to touch on that subject a little bit, man, because it's really important that we have these conversations.
Facts.
You know, be careful out there. You know, like you said, if you get pulled over by the cops in the middle of the night and it's dark, you know, it's nothing wrong with trying to get to a well-lit area. Yeah, now, don't be driving for miles and miles and miles talking about I was trying to get to a well-lit area. Nigga, you passed a well-lit area 3 miles ago. You know, now you're just trying to get the fuck away. Don't do stupid shit like that. if you go like a block around the corner or something like that, just to hurry up and duck into some well-lit gas station or something, that's different. Yeah, that's different. But if they've been behind you for miles and you talking about, I'm looking for a well-lit area, nah, you full of it. So just be careful with that type of stuff.
Well, you can kind of, you got your flashes on.
Yeah, put your flashes on. And I mean, I guess it could be sometimes a long situation. Like, let's say if you're on a back country road and there ain't no lights. A lot of them roads is dark.
That's what I'm saying.
So, yeah, in that situation, just put your flashes on. Don't go fast. Just go slower so that they'll know you're not trying to get away. Because once you speed up, they're going to be like, oh, this nigga trying to get away. Shoot it. But yeah, so just I'm joking, but be careful out there. You know what I mean? Think with some sense, you know what I mean? So but yeah, that's all I had to say about that. This has been episode 231. I don't know why I keep having to remind myself. We've been going for a minute, but again, we're gonna start doing these pre-recorded. I want to thank those who have always been there for us, like R2G2 and all the others who check us out live. But we are going to try to start doing this pre-recorded so that we can kind of edit the videos and make sure everything is right before we put it out to the universe.
Oh, happy Black History Month, everybody.
Yes, happy Black History Month. Thank you. Almost forgot about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have to cheers.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Happy Black History Month. And go ahead.
I was gonna say I almost forgot. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe.
Brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters.
Yes, sir.
We need funds.
We need funds.
Allocated. In order to build the school.
Yes, sir. But I didn't mean to cut you. I think you were trying to say something. I just want to throw that out because, we got to put that out there. We need those follows and subscribes and all of that.
Oh, yeah.
But were you trying to still say something?
No, that was it. Happy Black History Month. I mean, we're going to keep doing it, I know it's like, people be like, man, they gave us the shortest month. But, hey,
right.
Matter of fact, it's sad, though, because as soon as it's like, when February 1st come on, it's like, happy Black, we really don't even get the whole month if you think about it. Because then it's like Valentine's Day, like, okay, like, why that? And then it's like, you know what I'm saying? And then so every year I'll be like, hey, happy 14th day of Black History Month. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? I do that every year just to fuck with people.
All right, man. Well, yeah. Well, again, thank y'all. We're gonna step up the game for y'all, and for Trying Hip Hop Podcast. This is your man Kurt, and this is
Howie,
and we'll see y'all on the next one.
Peace.